What if today was the day? What if in this very moment the sky broke open and every soul was called to account? Not someday, not in the distant future, but today. Would you be ready? Would you look back with peace or with regret? Would you rise or be left behind? You see, too often we live as if we have time. We postpone purpose. We delay love. We make excuses for not living fully, not serving deeply, not forgiving quickly. We think, tomorrow I'll fix that. Tomorrow I'll say the words I've been holding back. Tomorrow I'll change. Tomorrow I'll begin. But if today were the rapture, if this was the last page in the story of your earthly life, would you be proud of the life you've written? Ask yourself right now, what would I do if I knew today was the end? Would you finally say, I love you, to someone you've been too afraid to say it to? Would you kneel and pray with sincerity, not as a routine, but from the depths of your soul? Would you make peace with that person you cut off or with the family member you haven't spoken to in years? Would you live in fear or would you rise in faith? The truth is, we don't need to wait for the rapture to be awakened. We don't need fire from heaven to feel the urgency of purpose. You have breath in your lungs. You have life right now, and that means you still have time to live it right. Let me ask you this. What are you tolerating in your life that you would immediately eliminate if you knew this was your final day? Is it bitterness? Is it addiction? Is it complacency? Is it a toxic relationship? Is it your own negative self-talk? If the clock of eternity started ticking down today, would those things still matter? Would scrolling mindlessly on a screen still matter? Would being right in an argument still matter? Would chasing approval still matter? You were born for more. You were made for a divine mission. You were placed here not to exist, but to ignite. And if today was the rapture, it would reveal whether or not you've truly been awake. So don't wait for the clouds to part. Don't wait for a trumpet sound. Make this the moment that shakes your soul. Make this the moment you rise. If today was the rapture, here's what I believe you'd do. You'd forgive faster. You'd speak your truth louder. You'd pray with fire. You'd hug tighter. You'd stop waiting for signs and become one. You'd stop playing small and step into your full calling. And maybe most of all, you'd stop being afraid. You'd stop fearing what others think. You'd stop fearing failure, because none of that matters in the face of eternity. So I challenge you, live as if today is the rapture. Let your actions reflect the urgency of that possibility. Let your life scream, I'm ready. Let your love be loud. Let your mission be clear. Let your time be invested, not wasted, because deep down you know what you've been neglecting. You know what needs to change. You know where your soul is not aligned. This isn't about religion. This is about being real with yourself, about asking the hardest question of all, am I living the way I want to be remembered? When the final day comes, be it today, tomorrow, or 50 years from now, you will not be judged by how many followers you had, how many trophies you earned, or how many likes your posts got. You'll be judged by the condition of your heart, the quality of your love, and the impact of your presence on others. So what would you do if today was the rapture? You'd stop chasing comfort and start chasing conviction. You'd stop hoarding your gifts and start giving them away. You'd stop wasting time and start redeeming every second. Maybe you'd run to someone you hurt and say, please forgive me. Maybe you'd fall on your knees and say, God, I surrender. Maybe you'd look into your child's eyes and finally be present, fully present, for the first time in a long time. Maybe you'd stop chasing success and start chasing significance. But here's the gift. You don't have to wait for a what if. You don't need a final warning. You have right now. That's what makes this moment sacred. So I dare you, make a decision today. Cut ties with mediocrity. Break free from the cage of your own excuses. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. This is your wake-up call. This is your invitation to live not as if life is guaranteed, but as if every breath is borrowed. You don't need fear to drive you. Let faith drive you. Let passion fuel you. Let purpose become your compass. And if today were the rapture, may it find you ready, not scrambling. May it find you at peace, not in panic. May it find you alive, not just breathing. Because when you live like today is the rapture, you begin to live with a clarity that cuts through all the noise. You begin to speak with a power that comes from truth. You begin to act with courage that comes from knowing you are not here by accident. So stand tall, look within, live boldly, and whatever you would do if today was the rapture, do it now. Live each day as if eternity begins tonight. This isn't just poetic. It's a call to radical awareness, to stop living like life is unlimited, and to start recognizing that every sunrise could be your last chance to truly show up. Think about how different your choices would be if you knew this day mattered more than any other. You wouldn't waste time on meaningless distractions. You wouldn't hold back your feelings. You wouldn't delay hard conversations or silence your inner voice. You'd stop treating time like it's on sale and start honoring it like it's sacred. You'd wake up with gratitude instead of groaning. You'd speak with purpose instead of habit. You'd love people deeper because you'd finally understand the weight of the moment. If eternity began tonight, would your priorities shift? Would you still scroll endlessly, complain needlessly, compare constantly, or would you rise with a mission, laser, focused on doing what matters? You'd choose to show up differently. That call you've been putting off, you'd make it. That apology you've been holding in, you'd give it. That dream you've been suppressing, you'd finally take the first step. Because when you believe time is limited, you begin to value it. You begin to see that every word counts, every decision builds, every act leaves a trace. Most people live like tomorrow is promised, like there's endless time to fix things later. But the truth is, none of us know when our final hour will come. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you. It's meant to shake you out of comfort and into clarity. Because if you truly grasped the fragility of life, you wouldn't live passively. You wouldn't walk through your days numb or on autopilot. You'd live deliberately. You'd start paying attention to what's real instead of chasing what's popular. You'd give more, listen longer, laugh louder, forgive faster. Living as if eternity begins tonight means making peace with your past and alignment with your soul. It means cutting off the things that drain you and giving your energy to what feeds your spirit. It means no longer staying in relationships, jobs, or routines that shrink you. It means saying no to mediocrity and yes to meaning. It means understanding that every day you get is a gift, not a guarantee. It means living not just for yourself, but for something higher, something eternal. When you live this way, people feel it. You carry a presence that can't be explained. You become magnetic, not because you're trying to impress, but because you're living in truth. You stop proving and start being. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop surviving and start creating. You realize the most powerful thing you can do is live fully now. Not someday, not when it's convenient, not when you feel ready. Now, because you understand the price of delay, you understand the tragedy of wasted time. This mindset changes everything. You stop being driven by fear, shame, or ego. You become driven by love, faith, and urgency. You stop asking, "What do I feel like doing today?" and start asking, "What matters most today?" You don't wait for motivation. You live with intention. You don't hope things work out. You show up and create impact, even in small ways. Because you know you may not get another shot to speak life, to stand up for truth, to love deeply, to forgive fully, to walk boldly in your calling. Don't wait for the sky to open your heart now. Too many people are looking for signs, waiting for some dramatic shift, expecting a thunderous moment to tell them it's time to change. They wait for the clouds to part before they believe, before they forgive, before they take action. But the real transformation never begins outside. It starts within. Waiting for the world to shift is a distraction. The sky doesn't need to crack open for your life to start meaning something. The sign you're looking for isn't coming from the heavens. It's coming from your own spirit, the one that keeps whispering, "Start now." We waste years waiting for perfect clarity, for the ideal conditions, for everything to feel just right. But life rarely works that way. It's messy, unpredictable, urgent, and the truth is, your heart already knows what needs to be done. It knows who you need to forgive. It knows what you've been avoiding. It knows what you've been called to do. You don't need a miracle in the sky to begin living like your life matters. You need to stop numbing your soul. You need to stop pretending that your time here is unlimited. Because it's not. We've been conditioned to look outward for meaning, through success, status, followers, money. But none of that will matter in the end. What will matter is whether your heart was open, whether you loved when it was hard, whether you were honest when it was uncomfortable, whether you leaned into faith instead of fear, and that work, that inner shift, that begins the moment you decide it does. The moment you stop waiting for divine confirmation and realize you already have divine permission. The moment you stop waiting to feel worthy and realize you were created worthy. The moment you stop looking for the rapture in the clouds and realize the real rapture is the awakening of your soul. The sky could open any moment, but so could you. You could open your heart to forgiveness, to healing, to grace, to the people you've been holding at a distance. You could open your heart to courage, to risk, to the calling that scares you but won't leave you alone. You could open your heart to love again even after betrayal. You could open your heart to purpose even after loss. You could open your heart to truth even when it hurts, because what if the real test is not what happens when the sky opens, but what you do when it hasn't yet? The sky doesn't need to send a bolt of lightning to get your attention. That ache you feel inside, that longing, that pull, that restlessness, is the signal. That's the invitation to begin. That's the proof you've been chosen. You don't need to wait to be rescued. You don't need to wait to be qualified. You don't need to wait until you've got it all together. You need to surrender to what your heart already knows. It's time. Time to rise, time to speak, time to let go, time to stop living in fear, time to stop blaming your past, time to stop rehearsing your pain, time to stop hiding your light. Open your heart now, because the moment you do, everything shifts. The way you see people, the way you show up in rooms, the way you respond to pain, the way you treat time. When your heart is open, you become the light you were waiting for. You become the change you kept praying for. You become the one who moves with love even in the face of darkness, and that kind of life, that kind of energy, is far more powerful than any sign in the sky. Because it proves that you don't need the world to wake up before you do. You don't need the heavens to shake before you become who you were born to be. You don't need the last trumpet to sound before you start living like this life is sacred. Your legacy is built in the choices you make when no one's watching. It's easy to perform when the spotlight is on, when people are applauding, when recognition is guaranteed. But real character isn't shaped in front of a crowd. It's shaped in the quiet moments, the hidden places, the unseen decisions that define who you truly are. When no one is there to clap for you, when no one is watching to judge you, that's when your legacy begins to take root. The world might never see the late nights you spent in prayer, the forgiveness you gave without ever getting an apology, the patience you practiced when you wanted to explode, or the truth you held onto when it would have been easier to lie. Legacy isn't built in loud declarations. It's forged in private discipline. It's formed in your integrity, in the sacrifices you make for others, in the values you uphold even when it costs you. Every time you choose honesty over convenience, faith over fear, kindness over vengeance, you're laying another stone in the foundation of a life that matters. You don't need to go viral to be valuable. You don't need a stage to be significant. You don't need applause to be impactful. What you need is to stay true to what you know is right, even when no one is around to notice. The problem is we've become addicted to being seen. We want validation, we crave attention, we measure our worth by how many people approve of us. But legacy doesn't care about likes. Legacy is about how deeply you loved, how fiercely you stood for what was good, how much light you brought into a world full of noise. And often, the most powerful parts of your life will be the ones no one sees. The quiet battles you fight in your mind, the decision to forgive one more time, the courage to keep going when you feel invisible. The tears you wipe for someone else when your heart is breaking too. What you do when no one is watching reveals what you truly believe. Do you treat people with kindness only when it benefits you? Do you serve only when it's noticed? Do you pray only when it's convenient? Do you show up with love only when it's returned? Because those are the moments that define your soul. Those are the moments that write the story your life will tell when you're gone. Not the resume, not the house, not the titles. The legacy is written in moments of humility, compassion, sacrifice, and unshakable purpose. Some of the greatest legacies were built in silence. Mothers who stayed up night after night, sacrificing for their children. Workers who served with diligence, though no one ever celebrated them. Teachers who poured into students that no one else believed in. Friends who listened without needing to be right. These are the stories that shape the world long after the lights go out. And that means your story matters even when it's unseen. Your effort matters even when it's unnoticed. Your faithfulness matters even when it's uncelebrated. So ask yourself, what choices am I making when no one's around? What story am I writing in the quiet corners of my life? What habits am I building in secret that will one day shape how I am remembered? Because when it's all said and done, the question won't be how many people saw you. It'll be how many people felt loved because of you, how many lives were touched by your truth, how many hearts were impacted by your courage, and those answers won't be found on a stage. They'll be found in the dark, private, everyday choices you make when the world isn't watching. Stop chasing comfort. Start chasing conviction. Comfort is seductive. It whispers lies that sound like peace. It tells you that safety is success, that predictability is purpose, that avoiding risk is wisdom. But comfort zones are where dreams go to die. Conviction, on the other hand, doesn't care how you feel, it cares how you live. It's not here to keep you safe. It's here to set you free. It demands growth. It demands courage. It demands truth. And most of the time, that means stepping into spaces that scare you, challenge you, stretch you. We're taught to pursue the path of least resistance, to make decisions that preserve our comfort, to build lives that minimize pain and maximize ease. But nothing great is ever born from easy. Purpose isn't found in a pillow. It's found in pressure. Meaning isn't discovered in retreat. It's revealed in resistance. The people who change the world, who leave legacies, who rise when others run, are not the ones who chase convenience. They are the ones who are led by conviction. They move not because it's easy, but because it's right. They speak not because it's popular, but because it's true. They love not because it's safe, but because its needed conviction wakes you up in the middle of the night. It won't let you settle. It won't let you stay silent. It won't let you quit on your assignment. It's the fire in your gut that burns even when you're tired. The voice in your soul that says keep going. The force that pulls you towards something greater than yourself. It asks more of you, not less. It won't let you play small, and it sure won't let you hide behind excuses. Chasing conviction means you say yes to the mission, even when you feel unqualified. It means you forgive even when they don't apologize. It means you show up with excellence even when no one thanks you. It means you sacrifice what's comfortable to pursue what's eternal. You might not get applause. You might not get approval, but you will get peace. Deep, unshakable peace that comes from knowing you're living aligned with your purpose. Not the world's expectations. Comfort keeps you stuck. It wraps you in routines that feel good but rob your future. It whispers, stay here, it's safe, when your soul is screaming, move now. And every time you listen to comfort over conviction, you shrink. You lose a piece of yourself. You begin to settle for survival instead of striving for impact. But when you chase conviction, you may feel fear, you may feel doubt, but you'll also feel alive. Because you'll know you're living for something that matters. Conviction doesn't always come with clarity. Sometimes it comes as a whisper. Sometimes it's just a sense that you're meant for more, that this relationship isn't right, that this job is draining your spirit, that this path is too small for who you're becoming. Listen to that voice. Trust it. Follow it even if it leads through uncertainty, because comfort never produces calling. Calling is born in tension, in trial, in obedience. It's forged in the fire, not in the familiar. This world is noisy. It rewards the comfortable, it praises the easy, it celebrates the convenient. But the truth is, comfort won't lead you to the life you were designed to live. Conviction will. It will pull you out of the shadows. It will wake you when everyone else is asleep. It will push you to have the hard conversations, to take the leap, to leave what's no longer serving you. And in doing so, it will lead you to a life of meaning, not mediocrity. A life of mission, not maintenance. A life of eternal impact, not temporary applause if you knew time was running out. You'd live like love was your only mission. You wouldn't waste your energy on grudges, on proving you're right, on pretending you don't care. You'd stop scrolling past people's pain and start showing up with presence. You'd see people not as interruptions but as assignments. You'd speak softer. You'd listen longer. You'd forgive quicker. Because you'd understand that love is the only thing you can take with you. Not your status, not your possessions, not your followers. Only the way you gave yourself to others, the way you made people feel seen, the way you led with compassion when judgment was easier. Most of us act like we have forever to love the people in our lives. We hold back affection, delay apologies, postpone connection. But if the clock was ticking down, you'd drop the ego, you'd make the call, you'd hug longer, you'd be more interested in reconciliation than being right. You'd stop letting pride steal your peace. You'd say the words you've been too afraid to say. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I'm proud of you. I love you. You wouldn't wait for the perfect moment. You'd realize the perfect moment is now if you really believed time was short. You wouldn't waste it on comparison or insecurity. You wouldn't spend it chasing things that won't matter 5 minutes into eternity. You'd stop trying to impress and start trying to impact. You'd care less about being remembered and more about being loving. You'd stop living like life is about performance and start living like it's about presence. You'd stop trying to win arguments and start trying to win hearts. You'd stop keeping score and start keeping grace. Love would become your default, not your afterthought. You'd love your family better, even when they frustrate you. You'd be more patient with your children. You'd be more generous with your time. You'd be more willing to go the extra mile. You'd serve not because you have to, but because you're called to. You'd lead not for control, but for connection. You'd show up not to be the loudest voice, but to be the clearest heart. Because when you understand how short life is, love stops being a feeling. It becomes a way of being. Every interaction would matter. Every conversation would become a chance to plant hope. Every act of kindness would become a seed for eternity. You'd notice the lonely. You'd stand up for the weak. You'd carry someone else's burden without broadcasting it. You'd give without expecting anything back. You'd care less about being busy and more about being available. Because when you realize love is the only thing that echoes beyond the grave, you start building a life around what actually lasts. You'd forgive not just to free them, but to free yourself. You'd choose love over being offended. You'd choose mercy over judgment. You'd choose connection over convenience. And in doing so, you'd become a reflection of the very thing you were created from. Because love isn't just something you do. It's who you are when you strip away the fear, the noise, the pride, the pressure. It's what remains when everything else fades. Living like love is your only mission. Changes the way you see everything. It makes you brave in your relationships. It makes you fierce in your compassion. It makes you bold in your truth. You no longer ask, what's in it for me? But instead, who needs me to show up fully right now? You don't wait for the world to love you first. You go first. You risk. You reach. You reflect the divine in how you treat others, especially the ones who can never repay you. And that is what leaves a mark time can never erase.